Hey everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. My name is Mike and we're back on the road drag project today. This is pretty much where I left you last time. I haven't done any more work to it. We're going to jump right into it. This is what we've got. If you're new to the project, this is where I left you. This is a road drag for behind our 20 horsepower tractor. This is a flip up scarifier. Of course the jack is in the way up there. I moved the jack out of the way, put some blocks in, but the idea is if I want the scarifiers, they come down here. This pin goes in, holds them, locks into place. If I don't want them, they flip up, pin goes in, holds it up, locks that into place. And I only have one side done right now. So the first thing I want to do this morning is go ahead and get the pin in on this side, because we've got some ice on the roads right now. And I think it would be kind of fun to test out those scarifiers in the ice before it melts off. It's supposed to get up to decent temperatures today. Hopefully they'll be gone by the end of the day. I picked up a shade 10 lens. I'd been using a shade 5 for the torch shots. I picked up a shade 10 for the welding shots. We'll see if that works any better for us today. Let's get going. So where this side is, that sits too low. See where the pipe hits that? I need it to be about here. So I can either build this up or I can build the pipe up. But I need to elevate that just a little bit so the pin will clear that. Somebody left the floor heat off. I should have turned radiant floor heat on this morning before I came in. Oh, where are you going, bud? I think that'll work fine. I don't think we need to look real close at it. I don't think we need to do that at all. Yeah. Use your imagination, would you? It'll be fine. However bad you think it looks, just multiply that times 5. That's okay. Yeah, I like what we got going on. There's a couple other things we need to put on before we can flat out test it. Honestly, I just got a lot of cleanup welding to do on this, and we need to add a gusset plate that'll go here. It'll tie all this together. We'll just start up here at the top and work our way down. Here's what we ended up with. Nothing worth bragging about, but I think it'll hold. Should be fine. Next, I'm going to take a cut-off wheeler grinder, maybe, probably just a grinder. See if we can't make where this meets a little bit prettier and get a weld across there. We'll do that on both sides. There's this one. Here's that one. So there it is after hitting it with the grinder. And there's this side. Grinder and paint. Some thick paint at that. I think that'll look, oh, what, you just get done welding that? I think that'll work fine. That will work fine. Let's do this gusset. It's gonna go over these two to help hold these in place. And then we'll take this thing out and play with it in the ice a little bit. So one way you can save a little bit of money on material is if you go to a machine shop that has a CNC table, like the machine shop we go to. They have these offcuts, and you can buy them for a little bit cheaper than what you would buy a full plate. And for a guy like me that just does hobby stuff at the house, pieces like this are exactly what I'm looking for. So if you're anything like me and you're bad with numbers and tape measures, templates always seem to work okay. I'd like to cut a piece of plate that catches this and this, because this will take a lot of force. As the scarifiers hit, it's going to want to kick into that, and this one too. So I'd like to make a plate that catches both of those and catches that at the same time. So do I angle it back like that and get fancy? Do I come up and then bend it over? I don't know. I think I do. I think I gotta, well, but then I'm gonna miss that. Now we've got some thinking to do here. Now we'll just fold them up. So it'll sit in here like that. Yep. If I go right there, well, it might have a little swoop in it, but I mean, that's not gonna hurt anything. As much as it's gonna have to bite on there, I think that'll be fine. A little style is what it is. I could always drop it down like this, or I could drop that down sooner. Like that too. We could just do this. What if I just did this? Clean these tips out, and we'll get this cut. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to take the grinder and try to make a little kerf right there. But it looks like it's gonna do what I want. I just gotta make sure I can get it slid that way enough. Let me clean that with the grinder. Made a little notch with the grinder in there. Not bad. I gotta clean up those slots a little, but overall, looks like it's gonna fit in there the way we want it to. Yeah. I need to clip this corner up here for where there's a weld already there. Just kind of need to clip that. So it fits pretty well on there. Just need to get the hammer and tap it down into place. But before I do that, obviously clean this up so we got something clean to weld to. I'll show you what it looks like when I get it all welded up. Here's what we ended up with here. I just welded the back side, and here. I didn't do anything in the middle. I don't think we need to. Looks like I made a little hairdo with those welds up there. I was afraid to get into that pipe too much because I didn't want to accidentally weld the pin to it or fill this up with weld, and then I wouldn't be able to get a pin through there. That's still hot. But I think that looks okay. I think that'll be plenty of strength. And it'll definitely reinforce these pipes. So any force that's put onto these scarifiers on this bar here that was coming back into the pipes like this, now this gusset's going to take some of that force. I think that'll work great. Let me double check my template on the other side. Might have to make a few minor changes. Remember to leave the camera on this time, and we'll cut this one too. So on the other one, I didn't go up high enough with the pipe. I had to come back and trim it just a little bit. So we'll go up just a little higher this time. Over there by the propane tank, that'll be perfect. Good enough for who it's for. Well, that's pretty ugly looking. Well, at least we're consistently ugly. It's not terrible. I think that'll work fine. Pretty big gap on this one, but we'll get her. Here's what we ended up with on this one. I've seen better, but I think they'll hold. Definitely quite a bit of added strength with those gussets. I think that's strong enough. We can go ahead and put it on the back of the tractor and go play in the ice a little bit, and then we'll come back and put the finishing touches on. I'm still debating whether or not I want to put a second runner across here or a second blade across there. We gotta test her out and find out though. Oh, I haven't put my notch for that yet. Well, here's to hoping it'll ride out there while we're testing. We'll try it. Well, it was a short test, but all the teeth are still on. One thing's evident for sure. I'm gonna have to come up with some more weight for this thing. I wonder if a fella could just get a big old thick piece of plate and just, you know, for some weight right there. Definitely have to add some weight. But let's go ahead and put the rest of what we're doing on it. We're gonna add a second blade in the back. We're gonna taper these edges. It's going to be a little bit less angle than this one is. big old mess trying to fill that gap. The last big thing I want to do, I want to run up and down the road of this a few times and see how this edge acts over here, because I might add something there. I kind of started it here. I want to taper this up on both sides. When I initially did this one, I just heated it up with the torch and started beating it. But it was taking a hot minute. I think I'm just going to score it with a cutoff wheel, beat it into place, and then weld it back. Or we'll just break it. I guess that'll work too. While I got it upside down, I'm going to go ahead and run some passes on the bottom side of the pins. There, maybe one there. It's just a good opportunity to get this stuff while we're sitting here. So my wireless microphone is dead. I'll give you a second to adjust your volume accordingly. While you're doing that, let's give the grand tour. Look, I even threw, somebody said I never paint my implements. See? Painted. I was testing out the color. I do think I like it. We'll wait till spring, till it's warmer. This is not optimum painting conditions. We'll wait till spring, but I do like that color. So here's what we ended up with. I love the way this gusset turned out. Added a lot of strength around these pins where they attach. I think they look good. Things I still need to do: drill a hole through that pin so I can keep a keeper in it. I need to do that yet. This looks good. I like that. I never did weld that up. Honestly, I don't think that'll ever bend down as thick as that is, but it'd probably be nice just to weld that up and close it off. It'll look a little cleaner anyway. We've got the first blade at a pretty aggressive angle, and it hangs down a little bit lower. You can see that. And then this one on the back
Has a little angle to it, but not a lot. And then I made it to where the front sits flush with the bottom and the back sits up a little bit higher. So this part is a little bit more of an angle too. It's rolled forward more, so it can kind of carry a little bit of stone with it. This one, the stone just needs to come up and over, and it kind of needs to shuffle it across back and forth. With this one, tilted up, it should carry a little bit more as well. Looks really good. Here's the gusset on this side. Same thing, I need to drill a hole and put a keeper in this one. I may cut a little bit of this off so the pin comes out a little further. But we'll put a keeper in that as well. And probably a lot of people suggested welding a chain onto here to here, so if they do fall out, I don't lose them, because they are kind of, I mean, you know, you can't pass up using the handle off a leg press. It just works good for it. It'd be kind of a pain in the butt to recreate that. So I probably will weld a chain from here to here. That way if they do fall off, I don't lose them. Looks really good behind the tractor. The width is just about perfect. I really like it. It just doesn't get much simpler than that. And you're stowed and ready to go. So our main driveway is a mess right now with the snow and everything, and I don't want to run up and down it and just make more of a mess out of it. This time of year with the freeze and thaw, it just gets really pumpy, and if you mess with the road too much, you're going to end up with some big problems come springtime when it all dries out. From experience, I think what I'm going to do, we've got this little section of chert road for the YouTube yacht. I think we'll play with it on the chert road and see how it does. The only thing I'm not sure about, but that's fine because I want to use it on materials, is how this chert's going to act on there. This is what it is. It's got quite a bit of clay and stuff in it too. So I'm not sure what it'll do. We're going to find out. do want to see something real quick. I see something that might be an issue. I don't know where to put you guys. Can I put you here and you're not fall in the mud? I know. Yeah, you're all right there. Yeah, a lot of buildup. I don't know if that's going to mess with my pins out. You guys are in the way. You guys are always in the way. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. So, with all that buildup, can I still... And... yeah. I was worried all that buildup would get in the way of how the pins went in, but it seemed to do okay. Having the pins open on the end here kind of makes a difference. It allows that dirt to push out when I put the pins in. I'm not saying it's ideal, but since it's what we had to work with, I think it'll do just fine. Definitely needs some weight on it though. It's lighter than I thought it would be, especially after using these scrap pieces off the mast. I thought it'd have some more weight to it. I think I might go down to the machine shop, see if they got any offcuts from their CNC. It's just some really thick plating that maybe we could fill in from here to here. I'd like to keep the weight as forward as possible. I think the crazy thing to me is we're just playing with this right now, right? Making sure nothing breaks off, nothing falls apart on it, making sure it's strong and doing what it's supposed to be doing. The crazy thing is, even with the absolute mess that that road is right now, it's still doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's just rolling material on this, lifting it up, fluffing it up, carrying it back and forth like it needs to be, and then this one's just slowing it down and carrying it a little bit. Even with the disaster that that material is right now, it's still doing what it's supposed to do. Which gives me the confidence that if we got this on some good clean stone, I don't think we'll have any issues. I think it's gonna work perfect. And I'm sure some of you guys are wondering about cost with the new steel and cutoff wheels, grinding wheels, a couple cans of rattle can, couple cans of paint that I got, and they're sitting in the basement until it warms up, welding rods, all that stuff. We're right around 350 bucks for this thing. When you look at what they're asking for new ones that you buy off like Tractor Supply or something like that, we're doing all right on it. And this has a fancy flip-up scarifiers on it, fancy flip-up rake, if you will. It's got an extra feature and heavier steel, guaranteed it. The welds are probably equal, we'll say. I'm happy with it. I'm real happy with it. I think this thing is great. One last look at it. I just can't stop looking at it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. I mean, look at it. Would you just look at it?